Here are some instructions to install WordPress using Softaculous on cPanel. First of all, you have to go to your cPanel installation and log in. Normally that's just cPanel and then your domain. Of course, you need to have your user and your password to log in. Once you've logged in into your cPanel installation, you can proceed and type in the search box WordPress. This is one way to get there. You will see the WordPress managed by Softaculous. You could also go and type Softaculous and access through it. You'll get to the same place. Either way, I'll go by Softaculous, just a long way. When you're at Softaculous, you will see the WordPress icon in the top right next to the cPanel icon. The cPanel icon will take you back to cPanel. The WordPress icon will take you to the WordPress Manager within Softaculous. This application you're seeing here is Softaculous. And this is a new feature that Softaculous introduced, which is the WordPress Manager. Here you can manage all your WordPress installations. In this tutorial, I'm going to install a new, fresh copy of WordPress. To do that, I think you probably figured it out. It's just click Install. And here you will have to pick a couple of options related to your installation. First of all, you can choose the version. There are several versions available. You might always want the latest version, but you may have a particular reason to install an older version. That's depending on your project. The recommendation is to install the latest one, and that's the one that shows up as the default one. Secondly, you have to choose if you have more than one domain, or if you have several subdomains, you need to tell Softaculous where to install WordPress. You might have created a subdomain just for WordPress, or you might want to install your main site to be WordPress. So I have a lot of subdomains and domains on my cPanel account. I created one for this specific tutorial, which is dev2.avawebhosting.com. So when I created that subdomain in cPanel, I already told cPanel which folder dev2 should use. So just by picking that one in here, it will make Softaculous to install everything in that folder. So whenever I call dev2.avawebhosting.com, my new WordPress site is going to show up. And here comes a little very common problem. And it is that many times the users just don't, they forget about removing the directory. See, if I don't remove WP from here, Softaculous will install my WordPress into my subdomain, yes, but it will also create a subfolder within the subdomain or domain, whatever the case is, and then we'll install WordPress here. So in order to access the site, I would have to go like https://dev2.avawebhosting/wp to be able to see my site. So I have to remove this. You need to be very careful with that. You want to install this in a subdomain, for some particular reason. That is valid. That is totally valid. But it's not necessary if this is going to be the main site of whatever domain or subdomain you're selecting here. When it's necessary, well, imagine you have your main site already installed in here and you wanted a separate WordPress just for blogging. Then you have a second WordPress installation, and here you type blog. That way, when you access dev2.awehosting.com/blog, you get into this new website or WordPress site. So consider that every time you're installing. Here comes information such as name, short description. You can set it up here, but you can change that later on your WordPress administration console. A username and a password you should always set as secure as possible. I'm just for testing purposes, we're going to use this one. And an email address where you can recover the password in case you lose access to it. That's it. Then you can just pick the language in which you want this WordPress installation to be installed. And there are other advanced options, such as changing the name of the database or the prefix for each table. If you are not an advanced user, don't get into the advanced options. Now, one good thing here is the backup, the automatic backup option. You can back up once a day, once a week, once a month, or you can set up a custom amount of dates. It's a good idea to have it at least once a week. The backup rotation means that every time you already have 3 backups, it will delete the oldest one. Okay, so this is something you should be aware that you need to be downloading those backups from whatever folder Softaculous is going to put that at. You could also choose a theme right here. I normally don't do that, but it's up to you. Finally, just click on install. Softaculous will automatically create a database, copy the files, and set up everything for you. And finally, we'll give you the summary of what has been done. Where is your site, and where is your admin access URL. So to see the site, you can click here and see my new WordPress installation is there. And to go to the admin side, I can just go here. It will go directly because it's still connected. And it's your console to manage your WordPress installation. Now I'm going to show you real quick how it looks here. Click again on the icon. And now you see the new installation is right here. You can do a couple of things here. You can uninstall it. You can create a clone or a staging. You need to get familiar with those terms. But if you want to have a, let's call this a production site, and then you want to have a development site where you do changes, then you later want to promote to your production site, you use staging. If you want to make a clone just to see some changes, how they will look like, but at the end you're not going to promote that to production, then you just are cloning. Here you can back up manually besides the automatic backup. You can restore if you made a mistake and you already had a backup, you can restore. You can set up a few other things. You need to play a little bit with this to get familiar with. But that's how you install a WordPress site using the integrated plugin within Softaculous and cPanel.